Hey guys, welcome back for another video today. I thought I'd go ahead and do a natural look for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started off with the brows. And I'm pulling out my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in color chocolate. So I'm just gonna dig in my angle brush, get some good amount of product on there to start the brows off with, and a little bit does go a long way. So starting from the center and just distributing it through the front of the brow. Just making sure it's good, making sure the front is faded. And usually you want to start from the middle of the brow, then drag out the tail, because as you go from the middle and go to the end, you want the most product there. You don't want a lot, because like I said, a little bit does go a long way. Just making sure that you get enough product through the whole brow just to be able to like create a nice good shape. And I always take my finger and just blend the front so it'll be nice and faded. Then going in with my Rimmel Matte concealer, even though it is a foundation, but it's really like a thick foundation, but I use it to conceal the brows with myself and clients because it is a really good product. The way how I glide, you'll see in a second, it just really like helps clean up the brow nice and sharp. I really only use it for my brows because if I use it as a regular concealer foundation, it does get flashback. But when you clean it up with the brows, it really just goes good. And when you put the foundation over, the flashback is pretty much non-existent because of the SPF and the product. So just really cleaning up that brow with my little concealer brush, making sure that all the points are how I like it, nice and sharp at the end. So going in with a fluffy concealer brush, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. Don't overthink it, ladies, whenever you're doing your brows. It's really not as hard as you think. You just want to make sure you blend it. And if you're putting foundation over top, don't worry about it too much. And just going to go ahead with that other brow and come ahead and conceal it. And do the same thing on the other side pretty much. So yeah, definitely just don't overthink it. There's no right or wrong way to blend it. You're basically just making sure that it's not looking as bad as it is, pretty much. So after we're done cleaning up our brows, we're going to go ahead and go in our foundation. I use Almay in the shade 140, 130. Taking it on the back of my hand just like I did my concealer when I cleaned up my brows. And go ahead and dip my finger and distribute it on my face, because I figure when you use your finger, you're spreading it already, and then when we go to our brush, it's just going to blend it nice down and good. It does look like a lot, but when you use the brush, of course, some of the product does go into the bristles, so it takes down the product, if you understand what I'm saying. And don't worry, most people I know when I first started doing makeup thinking, this is a lot. But like I said, with my products, a little bit does go a long way. And whether you use a sponge or a brush, it's going to go ahead and take some of that product down and make it look nice and natural. So going again with my brush, I'm about to go ahead and start buffing that out in a buffing motion, a little bit of a swirling motion on the side, but most of the part is buffing. So as you see, it's starting to look more so skin-like. The thing I do like about the Almay foundation is it's supposed to be great for people with sensitive skin. I personally don't have it, but I mean, I would like to think that it prevents you from having bad skin. See how it is for people with sensitive skin. But I've been using it about the past 3-4 years and it never really broke me out. So definitely go check out Almay's foundation. It's really good. So going ahead and blending out my forehead, making sure I got all the little spots that I missed, and nooks and crannies, behind the nose and all that. Centering my head. So going in with a little concealer brush for under the eyes. But I use it for my powder product. I'm going in with my Anastasia contour kit in the lightest shade. Going ahead and setting that. Then going in with the Fit Me powder just to help set the face. Ladies, it's crucial that you have a powder to set your foundation. This isn't back in the day. You do have to set your foundation with something. I will recommend for beginners a color powder in loose. You can also get the compact ones where it isn't loose, but as far as like the bigger ones, they do last longer and they're basically the same price, and Fit Me products are amazing for that. because you really don't get flashback with the product, and you can buff it throughout the face, and it's not really going to change much. It just helps it, and it also gives a little extra coverage without it feeling too heavy. So of course we're going to go ahead and blend that down the neck, blend that through the face, making sure it's nice and in there. And once again, this is not stuff that feel heavy. It's just good for, you know, a good nice coverage that you want without it being too full. So go ahead and touch them back underneath the eyes before I contour. Now I'm picking 2 warmer shades that does fit more so my complexion. I'm going in with a contour brush, tapping off the excess product before I go ahead and contour my face. So starting about right where my ear is, I'm using a swiping and tapping motion and really bringing it down to my cheek and like buffing it out so it's not too bold. Because with a more so natural contour, even though I could go a little bit in, it does be nice and defined. Just bringing that warmth back to your face. So I'm just taking 2 neutral shades. You can use your contour palette, what you use to contour your face with, or 2 brown shadows. I'm gonna go ahead and add a wing. I will probably do a separate video on how to do a wing, but most part, you're really just making a triangle at the end and just lining your eye. And sometimes to define my eye, I go in with the foundation that I use with a square concealer brush and just press it in at the ends to help like sharpen it. And trust me, never overthink it. You can always go back and define your wings to make them look neater. You don't always have to restart over. You can just really go back in with concealer foundation and the ends to help sharpen it, and the square brush is perfect for that. So now just setting my face with Mario Badescu before I highlight, and to help lock in everything we did just put on our face, I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 gold highlighters, do a little bit of mixing just to make it nice and pretty. And 1 highlighter is always better than 2. There's nothing wrong with mixing, tapping off the excess product, that way it's not too bold. So going in with a light sweeping motion, and as you can see, there goes that nice highlight on the cheekbones. I tend not to highlight every area, just mostly my cheekbones and my nose, and sometimes a little bit of my lip. And just making sure that it's nice and blended out with a highlighting brush. And then going back in with my Mario Badescu spray to go ahead and lock that all in. I feel the key to a good highlight is to always, after you set your face, highlight, then set your face again. So just going in with some random lashes that I had that I've been using lately. I like because they are a little bit wispier, but like full, I don't know how to explain it. I just really do like the lashes. I'm using a lash applicator. I always go back on my hands to like pinch it just to make sure they are nice and secure. Letting my hair down, and I believe I'm gonna go ahead and add some gloss just to finish off the look. So I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you, ladies.